Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today is a lovely Sunday evening at the German Autobahn, and we've got a guest from Germany as well. EDO competition have brought their Maserati MC20 with a couple of very nice upgrades. So today I'm going to show you around them. We have already recorded a review with the MC20, but as you might remember, it had one very big flaw basically, and that was the sound. It didn't really feel like a thoroughbred supercar because of that. Well, EDO competition have succeeded in fixing that issue, and they have also brought us these absolutely stunning wheels. Look at that, that is just so delicious. EDO competition forged ultralight wheels, and they are a lot wider than stock as well. 18 millimeters at the front, I believe, and 24 millimeters at the rear. So that definitely changes the handling characteristics of the car. These are 21-inch wheels, 255s at the front, and well, they suit the car so well. It's like a classic Maserati racing wheel. I really like it. I think it looks stunning on this already beautiful car in this blue with the black accents at the front. So beautiful door sills here with an air intake there, air intake here, and then at the rear we've got 22-inch wheels with Continental Sport Contact 7 tires, and this is a 335 at the rear, so that is super wide, that is massive. So a lot of grip from these puppies. And then we've got the Nettuno 3-liter V6, of course. Let me just open the bonnet for you guys. There we go. So let's take a closer look at the engine, because this is, well, Maserati claimed an all-new 100% Maserati engine. Well, it's not really. It has a lot in common with the Alfa Romeo V6 that you find in a Giulia Q, and it also has a lot in common with the F154 V8 from Ferrari, which basically, you know, that is what they derived that Alfa engine from. But they did do a couple of very cool things. It has an own head design, it has a twin spark ignition system, it has dual combustion chambers, so they use a pre-chamber, which is F1 technology, and that means that they have a more efficient burn in the main chamber, and that in turn means that you get a lot of power, and in theory that you should be more fuel efficient as well. But I just saw the average fuel consumption of the last 200 kilometers, and it's like 30 liters per 100 kilometers. So I'm not sure if that fuel efficiency thing is working that well, but power wise it is working, because we've got 630 horsepower, 730 newton meters of torque from this bi-turbo 3-liter V6. It is a very potent engine. It loves to rev. It's very high strung. It's a very good engine actually for a car like this. You know, it's relatively light. It's 220 kilos in total, and it sits right behind the seats there. It really is a thoroughbred supercar. But the stock car, it just didn't really impress us sound wise, and it also didn't impress EDO from EDO competition, because he installed this gorgeous exhaust. Look at that. So this is the biggest exhaust they could fit in the stock bumper. Basically, it's made together with Capristo. It's lovely golden tint here with an EDO competition heat shield above that, and it's just massive, and it does something to the presence of the car as well. It really just makes it so much more aggressive and more serious, and you already know that more is going to happen, which is nice. I kind of feel like Russell Crowe is about to come and walk up behind me and do that thing, you know, the gladiator thing. I'm not going to sing the song, but he's like with his hands like that. Oh, that looks like that, right? Super cool. Okay, but I digress. Nice diffuser as well, and I also love the fact that you can just see all those parts through the grating there. Lovely rear lights. Yeah, I think it's just a gorgeous car with these voluptuous hips as well. It's a sexy car. I really feel, you know, something when I look at it, which is a good thing. Okay, so let's get in. So we've got a carbon fiber monocoque made by Dallara. And that means that, you know, you should be able to get a relatively low vehicle weight. But it weighs somewhere between 1500 and 1700 kilos, depending on the optional extras you have and, you know, wet versus dry. It's somewhere, the heaviest ones are like 1700 kilos, which I feel like is quite a lot. I'm not sure where they hid all that weight, because you have a carbon monocoque, which is super light. So I'm not sure what they did with that. Interior wise, I think it's really good. You've got leather on the dash here, nice Alcantara material, and then MC20 with a nice Italian flag, and gorgeous matte carbon on the center stack here, on the center console with the buttons. Again, I said this in my previous review, this is just, you can't do this in a car that is this expensive. Mount a button that is this cheap. It does not look like something that belongs in this car. It sticks out like a sore thumb, which is a shame. But other than that, really like it. Beautiful leather and carbon steering wheel, super nice. And then these are the comfort seats. So you also have like race buckets, but these are the more comfortable ones. Very nice seats by Sabelt, black and brown, super nice. And of course you have these beautiful doors that hinge up and add a lot of drama. So let's just have a look-see, shall we? Yeah, that looks like a proper supercar. Now, EDO Competition, you guys might remember them. They are like the OGs of crazy supercars on YouTube. When we started 13 years ago, yes, I'm that old. When we started 13 years ago, you know, that was like the crazy stuff that was on YouTube. EDO Competition, Enzos, MC12s, Carrera GTs. They had so many crazy cars. And they built some insane machines, like the ZXX Enzo, the yellow one. I think that's sold to a customer in Canada, which is just one of the coolest cars ever made. They do a lot of servicing now for Maserati, Ferrari, Porsche, stuff like that. But they also do cool projects like this. They are currently working on a power increase as well for this car, but currently the setup is downpipes, a new OPF and an exhaust. And well, let me tell you, the sound has improved by a lot. Oh, I just made it very difficult for myself there, but we can manage. So I'll start it up. You can already hear that that is quite a bit louder than stock. But when we go to sport, the valve opens, or the valves. Much deeper sound. And then we go to Corsa, which is like race mode basically. Much better than before. I'm not going to rev it too much because there are lovely people and it's a Sunday evening. Also, beautiful forged carbon there on the doors. I mean, it is a proper supercar. It's quite an expensive car, which I sometimes find very hard to justify the price, but you also do get a lot of like proper supercar stuff, which is nice. Okay, 8-speed dual clutch gearbox as well. We can switch to manual right there. And is there anything else I have to tell you guys? I don't think so. Let's go and have a drive. Oh, there's so much more going on now. The turbos were always very noticeable, but now they are just always there. Oh, so much better. Wow. That is such a big improvement. That is just night and day. In the stock car, you also have that like urgent feeling of the engine because it revs really quickly and it just loves to be in that top of the rev range. But you have like a proper sound that goes with it now. before it sounded a bit like a Turbo S, you know, a Porsche Turbo S, a lot of blowing through the exhaust. Now it has like a tone. It's quite deep, you get a big hit. On the upshift, we do have steel brakes, unfortunately. EDO actually wanted a car with carbon ceramics, but he said that he couldn't find one anywhere, and apparently those brakes are not great either. These brakes are not great, but apparently the carbon ceramics are actually from an F430, which is quite insane to me. That is a very old car. That's like 15 plus years old. So wheel-wise, of course, going a size up, 21, 22, and a much wider wheel, it definitely does something to the handling. It feels more eager to turn in. It feels a bit more like nervous in a good way. I quite like it. It definitely feels even more alive than it already did, because, you know, it's a very good car. It has dual wishbones all around. You've got that carbon tub, so it's a very serious car already. But I do feel like these two changes, these wheels and this exhaust, definitely add a lot. Oh, it's more than the sum of its parts, you know. It's only two things. It's only two things you're changing, but it changes more than you would think. So let's hit the Autobahn. We can hit this button right there for the suspension, for the adaptive dampers. I'm just going to leave it in Corsa now to see what it feels like. And if we feel the need to change that, you know, or if I feel the need to change that, I can do that. It's quite firm. It just loves to rev. It has this like mid-range boost feel, but then also after that it still feels like it's quite happy to keep going, you know. It's still, the throttle response of course also improves with these downpipes and this exhaust. So that is an improvement in itself, but it is an exciting car now. And that is just down to that exhaust, really. So much more exciting because of that. MC20 is around 6.4 seconds, which is seriously quick. Performs really well. 0 to 100 claimed by Maserati is like 2.9 seconds, but that is pretty difficult to get because, you know, it's rear-wheel drive, quite a lot of torque. Mode, you know, yes, it's a firm car, but it never feels like unsettled or anything. Yeah, brakes, not great. Could definitely use some proper carbon ceramics for Autobahn or track stuff. Oh, but it does like turn in very nicely. To like 7,800 RPM. I think 8,000 is the red line. is a nice damper setting. Oh, that's good. So that's 300. Okay, so I'm going to ditch the Speedo. It won't stick anymore. Anyway, that was a nice run, so I'm going to end it there. EDO competition, MC20, what an improvement. So much more drama happening, just so much more exciting to drive. That exhaust just elevates the driving experience. So good job, guys. Thanks for taking your MC20 to us and letting us have a go. Really appreciate it. To you guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video on the right or this playlist on the left. See you at the next one. Bye.